Hello. Before we get into the topic of variables, it's important to mention communication over the serial port, which we'll be using a lot. All Arduino boards are equipped with at least one serial port that establishes communication between the Arduino board and a computer or other devices. While Arduino UNO has only one serial port, Arduino Mega and Duo versions are equipped with multiple serial ports. In Arduino UNO, like in other boards, digital pins 0 and 1, namely RX and TX pins, are dedicated for the serial port. These pins are also connected to the USB port, which facilitates communication between Arduino and the computer. There are various commands utilized for serial communication, as shown on the screen. We will only use 3 of these commands in today's lesson, but we will see the other commands in our future lessons. The first command we will use is serial begin, which prepares the serial interface for communication. As you can see on the screen, the usage format is serial begin within parentheses, followed by the baud rate, which specifies the communication speed, with its unit being bits per second. The baud rate is the number of bits sent per second for serial data transmission. It increases in increments of 300, with 9600 BPs being the standard for establishing basic communication and data transfer. The other commands we'll use are the print and println commands, which are used to print data to the screen. The print function leaves the cursor at the end of the printed content, while the println function moves the cursor to the next line after completing the printing process. Let's carry out this information via the application now. To enable serial communication, we connect Arduino to our computer. After connecting Arduino, we check our connection. Our board is selected as Arduino and our port is connected to the COM port, confirming that Arduino is active. Once this check is complete, let's move on to using the serial monitor. In the setup section, we write serial begin followed by baud rate. Optimal connection speed will be 9600. Next, we use serial print and specify the data we want to print to the serial monitor within the parentheses. The expressions written within double quotation marks are considered as strings. You will understand this more clearly after we cover the topic of variables. Let's write the traditional expression hello world. Make sure that the code is uploaded to Arduino. When we open the serial monitor from the Tools menu, we see that the Hello World expression is printed to the serial monitor once. The reason for it being printed only once is because the serial print command is located within the setup block. As you may recall, commands within the setup block are executed once when Arduino receives power. If we want a statement to be continuously printed to the screen, we need to write it in the loop section. Now, we take the command from here and paste it into the loop section. Then we write the command delay 500 here, meaning we are introducing a 500 millisecond delay. We're reloading our commands onto the Arduino board. After the upload process is completed, we switch to the serial monitor from the Tools menu. We see the Hello World expression being printed to the serial monitor every 500 milliseconds. If you're using the serial print operation for writing, the cursor remains at the end of the expression. It doesn't move to the next line. If you want the cursor to move to the next line after the desired expression is written, you need to add ln next to it. We're uploading our commands to the Arduino board again. After the upload process is completed, we will see the expression written on separate lines in the serial port monitor. See, now the expressions are being written on separate lines every half second. We need to understand how to use the serial monitor to explain the topic of variables, because we'll be teaching the concept of variables through practical examples, and we'll be examining potential mistakes and evaluations together. In our next lesson, we will continue our education by defining the concept of variables.